nouns by adding OUS. Example: poison, poisonous; courtesy, courteous; danger, dangerous; mystery, mysterious; victory, victorious; nerve, nervous; adventure, adventurous; mountain, mountainous; mischief, mischievous; noun, humor, humorous. Forming adjectives from nouns by adding y. Examples: rain, rainy; dirt, dirty; noise, noisy; blood, bloody; storm, stormy; mess, messy; sun, sunny; fun, funny; water, watery; rock, rocky. We can also form adjectives from verbs. Let's consider how adjectives can be formed from verbs. They can be formed by adding able, ible, ant, ent, ive, ing, ed, and en to the back of verbs to form adjectives. Let's consider some of the examples. The first one is by adding able. Examples are agree, agreeable; pass, passable; remark, remarkable; pay, payable; laugh, laughable; value, valuable; expand, expandable; accept, acceptable. Adding ible to verbs to form adjectives. Examples: access, accessible; force, forcible; flex, flexible; permit, permissible; sense, sensible. Adding ant to verbs to form adjectives. Please, pleasant; rely, reliant; vacant, vacate, vacancy; ignore, ignorant; comply, compliant; resist, resistant. Adding ent to verbs to form adjectives. Examples: excel, excellent; urge, urgent; depend, dependent; differ, different; confide, confident; equal, equivalent. Forming adjectives from verbs by adding ive. Examples: attract, attractive; possess, possessive; create, creative; destruct, destructive; prevent, preventive; select, selective. Adjectives can also be formed from verbs by adding ive. Examples: attract, attractive; possess, possessive; create, creative; prevent, preventive; select, selective; destruct, destructive; evade, evasive. Adding ing to verbs to form adjectives. Examples: amuse, amusing; relax, relaxing; excite, exciting; confuse, confusing; overwhelm, overwhelming; surprise, surprising. Forming adjectives from verbs by adding ed. Examples: amuse, amused; relax, relaxed; excite, excited, surprise, surprised, overwhelm, overwhelmed, confuse, confused. Adding en or ed to verbs to form adjectives. Examples: freeze, frozen, braise, brazen, light, lighten, short, shortened, dark, darkened, wide, widened. Now, since we have checked how adjectives can be formed from verbs, I would like to share with you the fact that verbs can also be formed from adjectives. So it is vice versa. Verbs can be formed from adjectives by adding fy, en, and ise. Let's see some of the examples. The first one we'll be considering is adding fy. False, falsify. Liquid, liquefy. Pure, purify. Solid, solidify. Just, justify. Simple, simplify, etc. En to adjectives to form verb. Less, lessen. Sad, sadden. Black, blacken. Hard, harden. Soft, soften. Wide, widen. Able, enable. Rich, enrich. Feeble, enfeeble. In this case, we have not only added to the back, we have also added to the initial stage, to the front of the word, and to form prefix. So the first set of examples talk about those ones that add suffix, while the last three talk about those ones that add prefix. So we have suffix and prefix added to form verbs from adjectives. Verbs can also be formed from adjectives by adding ize. Examples: equal, equalize. Modern, modernize. Fertile, fertilize. Neutral, neutralize. In the same vein, adverbs can be formed from adjectives. So we said adverbs modify verbs in sentences. They give more information about the verb in the sentence. So we are going to look at how adverbs can be formed from adjectives, or how adjectives can be transformed to adverbs. So we have some of the examples here. We have noticed that the most common means of changing adverbs or forming adverbs is by adding ly. That is the commonly used means of changing words to adverbs. So let's see some of the examples. Last, lastly. Pleasant, pleasantly. Cruel, cruelly. Angry, angrily. Whole, wholly. Ease, easily. Official, officially. Slow, slowly, and so on. If you look at all these examples, you discover that every one of them has ly behind them. So that means ly is a marker for forming adverbs. how verbs can be formed from nouns. Verbs are formed from nouns through various means. They are either formed through shift of stress from a syllable to another or through change in spelling. What we mean is, when you want to change verbs to nouns in sentences, the means vary. At times, the spelling remains the same, while the stress shifts from one syllable to the other, and at times the spelling changes. Forming verbs from nouns through shift in stress will note that such words maintain their exact spellings as they function as both noun and verb. What we mean here is, when you are forming verb out of nouns through shift of stress, the spellings of the two words, that is the one functioning as verb and that one functioning as noun, the spelling remain the same. You spell them in the same way, but the pronunciation differ because of the shift in stress. Then words that function as noun have their stress on the first syllables, while those that function as verbs have their stress on the second syllables. So when you are talking about the first